Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about the VAC-PR theory, where we discussed how to find out the geometry and shape of the molecules depending upon the number of electron pairs present in the central metal atom, the valence shell of the central metal atom. We are deciding what should be the geometry and the shape of the molecule. Now, we discussed the different type of molecules like AB2 type molecule, AB3 type molecule, AB2L type molecule, AB4 type molecule, AB3L type, AB2L2 type, AB5 type molecule, AB4L, AB3L2, AB2L3 and also AB6, AB5L, AB4L2, also AB7, AB6L. So, different types of geometrical arrangement of the molecules are possible, that will be discussed. And during the last 7 classes, we were discussing about the covalent molecules, different theories of covalent compounds. We discussed valence bond theory, we discussed molecular orbital theory, we discussed hybridization theory, and also we discussed the VAC-PR theory for predicting the geometry of the molecules. Today we will discuss some other type of bonds like hydrogen bonding, like coordinate bond. Okay. So, about the coordinate bond already we discussed in the very first class, still we will repeat about the coordinate bond. Okay. So, what is a coordinate bond? See, when we are considering the molecule ammonia, if I consider the molecule ammonia, here you see nitrogen atom N 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons are there in the valence shell. Okay. And when I am taking 3 hydrogen atoms, each hydrogen atom is having 1 electron in its valence shell. So, this hydrogen atom requires another 1 electron to have this double doublet. This also requires the same 1 electron to have this double doublet. This also the one. So, what is happening? This nitrogen atom is forming the bond between this H. So, this bond is called what is the covalent bond. Called what is covalent bond. This is also covalent bond. This is also covalent bond. Okay. Now, again in this case, if I have NH3 and again I have a H plus here. Now, this H plus means see no electrons are there because the hydrogen atoms contains one electron. When hydrogen atom gives its 1 electron to other, it becomes H plus. So, H plus is having no electron. It requires 2 electron to have this double of doublet. And here you see nitrogen atom having 2, 4, 6, another pair of electron present here. So, this entire pair of electrons, so it can donate to this hydrogen atom. So, actually what happens, so this nitrogen atom is not donating the electron pair completely to the H plus ion, because if it will donate the electron pair completely to the H plus ion, so okay, then it will have the deficiency of electron again. Okay. So, what happens actually, this electron pair which are there earlier, that is getting shared between this N and H plus, but the contribution is only from one atom. So this bond is called what, coordinate bond, called what, the coordinate bond. Okay, it's called what, the coordinate bond we are discussing now. Okay, so in this coordinate bond, an electron pair is shared, but both the electron is from only one atom. So this kind of bond are polar in nature. Okay, the atom which donates the electron is called the donor atom. Here the N is what, donor atom, and here this H plus is called what, the acceptor atom. And always so we are putting an arrow mark, the arrowhead is towards the acceptor from the donor. So this we can write like this, N H plus. This is called what? NH4 plus. Okay. So this bond is the coordinate bond. This coordinate bond, one electron pair is shared, okay, between the two atoms. So okay. So remember this, I am telling that the nitrogen atom is donating the electron pair, but actually what? After donation, so again the two atoms are getting, two atoms are sharing the electron pair. So this is also called what? Coordinate covalent bond. It's also called what? Coordinate covalent bond. So here this the atom which donates the electron is called the donor, and which accepts called the acceptor. Okay, and we are putting the arrowhead. Similarly, we can take BF3, and I have what? NH3. So here in case of a nitrogen atom, we are having an electron pair of electrons, lone pair of electrons is there. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, it is having stable octet. But here in the BF3 we have the deficiency of electrons. So what happening here? This nitrogen atom is giving the electron pair to the boron. Remember, giving means what? First it is donating, then the boron and nitrogen two atoms are sharing the electron pair. Okay, so this is called what? Coordinate covalent bond. Okay, this is the coordinate bond. Okay, and this kind of bonds are polar in nature. Clear? Next we will discuss what the hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding. See, this hydrogen bond is a physical bond. So whatever we discussed earlier, the ionic bond, the covalent bond, the coordinate bond, here actually there is a transfer of electron, donation, acceptance, sharing. So these are happening. In case of ionic bonding, one atom is giving the electrons, become positive charge. Another atom is taking the electron, becomes negative charge. Then bond occurs between the positive and negative ions. So here the transfer of electron is taking place. And when we are discussing about the covalent bonding, here the two atoms are sharing an electron pair. They may share one electron pair or two electron pair or three electron pair. Okay. So electrons are getting shared between the two atoms. Now, so when we are discussing about your coordinate bonding, whatever we have seen now, so here also what electron pair is getting shared. Donation of one pair of electron is donated by one atom, then after both atoms are sharing. Okay, so these are called the chemical type of bonds, so where the involvement of electrons is taking place. In addition to this kind of bond, also we have some other simple force of attraction, so called the physical bonds. So like our van der Waals bonding there, van der Waals forces are there. Hydrogen bonding is there. In case of hydrogen bonding, if you see now, you will see now, there is no transfer of electron, there is no sharing of electron, nothing. It is just a force of attraction between the two molecules or between the two atoms, within a molecule or between the molecules. Okay, let us see. If I take the example, if I take HF, here you see in this HF we have this electron pair getting shared between the hydrogen and fluorine, and the fluorine is having the higher electronegativity as compared to hydrogen here. So obviously this electron pair will be somewhat withdrawn toward the fluorine atoms. Thereby this fluorine atom will get a partial negative charge and this H will get a partial positive charge. And these kind of bonds are also called what? Polar covalent bonds. We will discuss more about this. Okay. So here you see in HFO, fluorine is having higher electronegativity as compared to hydrogen. Hence, this electron pair is more attracted towards a fluorine atom. Thereby, it is getting a partial negative charge and it is getting the partial positive charge. Now, if I have another molecule of HF here, HF, same case will happen, partial negative. So when we have a sample of HF molecules, so each HF molecule is a polar. So this end is a negative end and this end is a positive end. Now between this fluorine and the hydrogen, there will be a simple force of attraction, and this is called what? Hydrogen bonding. Called what? The hydrogen bonding. So what is the hydrogen bonding? Hydrogen bonding is a force of attraction. It's a simple force of attraction between hydrogen atom of one molecule and another higher electronegative atom. This one, higher electronegative atom of same molecule, same kind of molecule or different kind of molecule. Right? So hydrogen bond is a simple force of attraction that holds between hydrogen atom of one molecule and another higher electronegative atom of another molecule of a similar kind or of different kind also. Here I can take HF, okay, I can take H2O, or I can take also H2O and alcohol, water and alcohol. Between water and alcohol, there can be hydrogen bonding. Between your HF, there can be hydrogen bonding. Okay. Between water, there can be hydrogen bonding. So when we are considering the hydrogen bonding between water and water molecule, you can say that same kind of molecule the bond is happening. When we take alcohol and water, that also there can be hydrogen bonding with alcohol and water. Okay. So accordingly, we can have this is hydrogen bonding. We can have the two kind of hydrogen bonding. One is called what? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Another is called what? Intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. So intermolecular means between molecules and molecules and molecules and molecules. Maybe similar kind, maybe different kind. And intra means within the molecule itself. Okay. For example, you see, if I take this is called what? The para-nitrophenol. What did you see? Para-nitrophenol. If I have para-nitrophenol, here you see this oxygen of this molecule and this H of this molecule. There will be what? Hydrogen bonding, called what? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. This is also what? This H of also what? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. H O H H O H H O H. Here you see this oxygen and this hydrogen. Oxygen, hydrogen. This is also what? The intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. So here you see between the molecules, O of this molecule, water molecule, H of this water molecule. Again O of this water molecule and H of this water molecule. So there can be what? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. And if I take suppose the case of what? This is called what? Orthonitrophenol. Called what? Orthonitrophenol. So in this case of orthonitrophenol, you will see this oxygen and this hydrogen. See, this is within the molecule. Within the same molecules, we are having a hydrogen bonding between the H of this one and O of this one. Okay, this is called what? The intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, so when we are having the hydrogen bonding within the molecule, called what? The intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, so what are the conditions that we can apply for the formation of this hydrogen bonding? Here you see, because the name itself, hydrogen bonding, that means see, hydrogen is the essential atom present so that hydrogen bonding is possible. Okay, so hydrogen should be the what? The essential element. So if there is no hydrogen at all in a molecule, that means see, there is no hydrogen bonding. Okay, so hydrogen is the what? Essential element. Hydrogen hydrogen atom is the essential atom. Okay, hydrogen atom is essential. Number 2, this hydrogen is having the lowest electronegativity. So another atom and the hydrogen bonding will be possible between the hydrogen atom and another atom of high electronegativity. So the next atom here F, here O, okay, must be higher electronegativity. Okay, that means what? Another atom should be highly electronegative. Basically, like FON, 4. So fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen should be essentially present, any one of them, so that there will be hydrogen bonding between HF, HO or HN. Okay, and another thing, the highly electronegative atom should be small in size. So we cannot take like chlorine, bromine, iodine, they are also having high electronegativity, but we cannot have the hydrogen bonding between H and Cl, H and Br, H and I. We can have the hydrogen bonding between H and F, because F is highly electronegative and small size. Okay, so the highly electronegative atom must be small in size. Okay, so hydrogen atom as the essential atom, then another atom of highly electronegative like fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen, and the highly electronegative atom must be small in size. Okay, so these are the 3 essential conditions for the formation of hydrogen bond. Okay, now see, then what are the consequences of this hydrogen bonding? First of all, see, HF is a liquid, but HCl is a gas. HCl is a gas. Okay. HF is a liquid, but HCl is a gas. See here, in HFO, we have the hydrogen bonding between H and FO. Because of this hydrogen bonding, a large number of HF molecules can associate with each other. Okay, and they exist in the form of liquid. But HCl, due to its large size, the hydrogen cannot form hydrogen bonding with the Cl. So in HCl there is no hydrogen bonding. That's why HCl is a gas. Okay. So the reason of existence of HF as a liquid but not HCl is because of what? Presence of hydrogen bonding in HF, which is not in HCl. Similarly, we can say H2O is liquid, but H2S is a gas. See, H2O, H2SO, all are the hydrates of oxygen family. Your oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium belong to the group 16, and we have H2O, H2SO, H2S, H2T. So, though oxygen and sulfur belong to the same group, they are the same hydrates, H2O and H2S, but H2O is a liquid, H2S is a gas. Why? H2O is a liquid because in H2O there is presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between the H2O molecules. Here we have seen. So, due to this hydrogen bonding, the H2O molecules can coexist a large number, okay, and they form in the liquid. But H2SO, due to large size of sulfur, the hydrogen atom cannot form hydrogen bond with sulfur. So, in H2SO there is no hydrogen bonding. That is why the H2SO molecules are not coexisting with each other. So, they are existing as gaseous molecules. Okay. So, H2O is a liquid due to presence of hydrogen bonding, but H2SO is a gas due to absence of hydrogen bonding. Why there is no hydrogen bonding? Because of the large size of sulfur atom. Okay. Similarly, boiling point of H2O is more than H2S. Is it? More than H2S. Boiling point of H2O is more than H2S. Okay. See, the species having hydrogen bonding are showing higher boiling point and melting point. See, in H2O and H2SO, H2O due to presence of hydrogen bonding, the molecules can coexist, hence they are having a higher boiling point. But H2SO, as there is no hydrogen bonding, its boiling point is less, very less than. Okay. Similarly, alcohols are soluble in water. That means what? Those molecules who can form hydrogen bond with water, they can be easily soluble in water. See, alcohol can form hydrogen bonding with water. Because alcohol can form hydrogen bonding with water, that is why alcohol are easily soluble in water. Okay. So, those species, those molecules which are not able to form hydrogen bonding with water, they are not easily soluble, even if they are not soluble. Okay. So, those molecules which can form hydrogen bonding with water can be soluble in water, and those are not able to form hydrogen bonding, they are not soluble. And who cannot form hydrogen bonding? If the species is not having the highly electronegative atom with the small size, like for FON. Okay. So, in alcohol also we have OH, we have the oxygen atom, and that oxygen atom is there. Okay. So, that can form your hydrogen bond with water. That is why alcohols are soluble in water. Okay. NaCO boiling point of ammonia is more than phosphine. Boiling point of ammonia is more than your phosphine. That is your NH3 is more than pH. Why? because in NH3 the nitrogen atom is there FON and is there. So in ammonia molecule, so there is a possibility of formation of hydrogen bonding, but in phosphine there is no possibility of formation of hydrogen bonding due to large size of the phosphorus molecule. Okay, hence so the ammonia is having the higher boiling point as compared to phosphine. Okay, similarly also we have point like boiling point of HF is more than HCl. Same reason in HF there is a possibility of formation of hydrogen bonding between the HF molecule. So hence so it is having a higher boiling point, but which is not possible in HCl. Similarly, HF is a weak acid than HCl. See, HFO, HCl, HBr, HI all are acids. Okay, so this species which can easily donate the proton is more acidic. In HFO, due to hydrogen bonding, the HF bond is strong. So the hydrogen atom from the HFO cannot release easily due to hydrogen bonding. That's why HF is a weak acid as compared to HCl. Because in HCl there is no hydrogen bonding, so the hydrogen atom from the HCl can be released easily. So HCl is a strong acid as compared to HF. Okay. So another one thing I want to point out here, if you compare between your inter and intra, okay, the species where intermolecular hydrogen bonding is possible, so are more soluble in what as compared to species having intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Here see, if I compare para-nitrophenol is more soluble as compared to ortho-nitrophenol. Okay, so this is what I can say. Para-nitrophenol is a more soluble than your ortho-nitrophenol. Okay, so due to hydrogen in para-nitrophenol there is intermolecular hydrogen bonding, and species with intermolecular hydrogen bonding are more soluble as compared to intra. That's why para-nitrophenol is more soluble as compared to ortho-nitrophenol. Okay, so this is all about what hydrogen bonding and covalent bonding which we have discussed today. And this hydrogen bonding is the most important. Okay, there is a short note for 3 mark, and also many reasoning questions are there which can be asked in the examinations. Okay, so these are the reasoning questions. HF is a liquid but HCl is a gas, H2O is a liquid but H2O is a gas. Okay, and boiling point of water is more than H2O, alcohols are more soluble in water. Okay, boiling point of ammonia is more than pH3. Okay, so these are the different applications of whatever the hydrogen bonding. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss about your dipole moment and some other important topics of these chapters. Okay.